Here is a late 1980s Montgomery Ward branded air conditioner. This is a Fetters product. There exists a Fetters branded version that is pretty much identical, except it has the Fetters logo there instead of Montgomery Ward's. I picked this up from Vann earlier this summer. I think these are very good machines. For whatever reason, there's a lot of hatred for these things in the air conditioner collector community. These are kind of like the Hampton Bay ceiling fans. They're economy products and they're not as good as some of the other ones that cost a lot more, but in reality they work just fine. They last a long time and it's just great equipment. I still see a lot of these around here. Not this particular model, but these Fetters products from the 90s. I see quite a few of them still in service, and when you see stuff in service for that long, it really speaks volumes to the quality of the equipment. Before we continue on to get it started up, let's take a look at the informations tag. So this thing is, I believe this is the first season this has ever been used. It's immaculate inside and out, no dust, no dirt, no rust. It is dated April of 1989, so it very likely could have been sold in the summer of '89. It is 11,500 BTU, so it's more or less a 1-ton machine. It has 39 ounces of 22, 115 volts, model number LFE-6112. It's allowed to draw up to 12 amps. 1,280 watts, and the is 9 for those that are interested in that kind of stuff. This air conditioner meets the minimum energy efficiency requirements of New York State in effect on the date of manufacture. It is AHAM certified, and there's the schematic. It is is it a 4-layer coil? I can't tell through the camera. Let me see if I can tell in the person. Yes, it is. It is 4 rows thick. So like I said, it's good equipment. The only thing wrong with this unit is the guard is a little messed up. The tab on the left side is busted here. See, it's supposed to look like this, but it looks like that, which is not correct, and so it kind of doesn't fit in properly and rattles a bit. But it is what it is. Here's the filter. It's already getting kind of dusty, I'm surprised. Although, the way the summer's been going, the last couple of weeks, we've been putting a lot of hours on the machines here. So as you can see, the coil's in great shape, no rust anywhere, no dust, and really nice, really nice condition for something that's this old. So you can see it's not clipped in over here, which is a problem. So we just go ahead and take this cardboard and stick that up here, and we stick this piece over here. And it kind of solves the problem. I could likely glue something on there to fix that, but I can live with it the way it is for now. I have a feeling that Kevin is going to steal this from me, and rightfully so. He has much more nostalgia to these things than I do because he grew up with one of these units, or one that was very similar. So he is the one that should have it. So I'll let him deal with that clip fiasco when that time comes. But for now, I'm using it here in the kitchen, and it works very well, and we have a glare coming in through the window. Let's see if I can get rid of that. This is very similar in form factor to the one that I used in here for a good portion of last year, the 10K. And even though this is only 2,000, or actually only 1,500 more, I do notice that this cools way better than the other one did. I kind of feel like the other one was a little bit overrated, and this one might be a little bit underrated, because the air comes out of this thing really cold. The fan seems to be about the same in terms of airflow. It's got a nice slow low, big jump to powerful high. It is a 3-speed motor, but for whatever reason Fetters opted to not use a 3-speed switch. I really just don't know why they would do that. I would have much preferred to have one fan setting and low, medium, high, cool, because really you don't even need the fan setting, because you could just turn the thermostat down and get fan only that way. It has this stupid air changer thing which works but serves no purpose. The thermostat does have continuous run, so that's just clicked off. It's 83 degrees in here. It's clicking on in between 3.5, so the thermostat's set very high, which is fine for my use case. And then you go here, it stops, and then continuous, which is really nice for the humid nights, because sometimes you have to drop the temperature pretty low in order to get all the moisture out, because you need the machine to run for longer. It does have the original plug still, which was working fine when I first installed it, but as of more recently I've noticed that the plug is starting to heat up, and that's unfortunately pretty common with these molded plugs. I don't know what it is with these plugs, but over the course of 20-30 years something happens, and maybe there's a chemist that can explain what's going on with the materials, but the plugs just seem to overheat. So I'm going to have to replace that. It was fine earlier in the year, I think, because it wasn't that hot. Today it's 96 degrees out right now, and I was running it when I first came home. It was almost 90 in the house, and the heat load that was on the machine was much more, so the head pressure is going up, it's pulling more power, and now the plug is overheating. So I did check the power draw a couple days ago in more moderate conditions, and it was around 10 amps out of 12. I suspect under these conditions, which is pretty much worst case scenario, it's drawing more towards 12. And speaking of the power draw, let's go ahead and plug in the kilowatt meter. This plug is technically backwards, because in theory the outlet should be with the ground facing up, and so then the plug would go in like this, but you really want it like this. Fetters designed it like this because most people have the outlets installed incorrectly. Let's see what our voltage is today. 121.7. That's extremely high for a day this hot. Let's check the split here. On that outlet we got 121.5, and then over here, which is the other leg, we have 121.0, so that's perfectly fine. I'm surprised the voltage is so high. The last couple of days we've had these temperatures into the 90s, and I saw the voltage go down to 106 one day, just because everybody up and down the street is using air conditioner. I just went downstairs to grab the temperature meter, and now it's up to 122.2. Okay, I don't know where I was at, but we'll just continue. So I don't know why the voltage is so high now. I guess somebody must be putting extra power in the grid or something. So this machine has one of the best fan startup sounds I've ever heard. I don't know why, because I'm pretty sure it's more or less the same motor as the other unit, but the other unit doesn't sound anything like this. I don't know if that's the motor or the blower or what's making that noise, but that's pretty cool. Ah, that's copyright music. Not good. This is low. Alright, let's get the, actually we'll just turn that off. We'll get the thermal set up here. I cannot wait to turn this on. I'm just sweating here. The sun's starting to go down, so it's down to 94 degrees out, but that's still very hot. At least the humidity is kind of low today. It's only 54 allegedly. I had the machine on when I came home, so it's still kind of cold. According to the indoor temperature, it is 84 in here, and probably slightly warmer near the machine because the window is open. Here's the compressor. That number doesn't seem particularly impressive, but if you factor in that we've got 80 going in, it's already a 20-degree split. Now, I did charge up quicker because I had it on a few minutes ago, but this thing does get down to business pretty quick. This is a great place to film air conditioner because you can open the window and get all the sound from the outside. Now we're down at 55 with 84 going in. That's a 30-degree split. Stop digging up my lawn! I really should probably just have gone outside and casually walked across the lawn and got rid of that as opposed to shouting out the window. Neighbors already probably think I'm nuts. There's no reason to offer any further evidence. 52 degrees. Here's what it sounds like with the windows shut. It's really quite quiet for a 12. For some reason, it causes the toaster to vibrate. For a 12K, this is very, very quiet. And the air is so cold, it's so refreshing. So we've got 84 going in, and according to this we have 53 going out. Well, that is a 30-degree split, which is very good. That 10K unit, I don't believe that ever provided anywhere near that much. There's a couple of things I don't understand about this unit. Number one is that the sound of the refrigerant comes and goes. Sometimes it's fairly loud, Like right now it's pretty audible. Sometimes it's completely inaudible and you can't even hear it. Cool's the same, so I don't quite understand what changes. The other thing I don't understand, and this is not dripping yet, so we got to give it some more time to accumulate some more water. But the amount of water that drips out of the drain hole never changes. It can be 85 degrees and humid, like it is now. Actually, it's not that humid, right? It can be 85 degrees and not humid, and it'll drip the same way it drips when it's 75 degrees and 99% humidity. I've run the thing outside to test it, and it drips the same in 99% humidity at 85 degrees. It just never changes. And it's never a lot of moisture either. It's always a very small amount of drips, which I really don't get, because that coil is so thick. I would have expected moisture to pour out of this thing. The amount of moisture that comes out is like maybe what I would expect from a little 5K. It's really kind of abysmal. But with that being said, it dehumidifies the room very nicely. It can easily drop it into the 40%. So it works fine. I just don't understand where the humidity is going. So that's 52 with 84 going in on low. Let's see what it does on high. Oh, it's creeping up more than I would have expected. Well, 2 degrees, that's not bad at all. 2-degree jump on high. Take a look at the power information. Well, I guess I'll just have to read it. It is drawing 11.02 the amps, 1,269 the watts, and it is 0.96 the power factor. So it is drawing considerably more now that it's running in such high temperatures. But that's totally expected and totally reasonable. It's still allowed to draw yet another amp. Now it's 95 degrees out. That's about as hot as it ever gets around here, so I suppose the only thing that would make this worse is if the condenser was sitting in the sun. Oh, now it's 11.1. It might keep going up as the head pressure builds. I'm going to pause the video for a little while and let it start drawing moisture and see how high the power climbs, because it's still climbing. It's been running on high for quite some time now. The water has started dripping, and that's all it ever does. Never any more than that. Ever. Or any less. It can be 65 degrees with 40% humidity, and that's what it looks like. It can be 85 degrees, and that's what it looks like, which I just don't understand. The temperature has stabilized at 52 degrees. It is down to 82 degrees in here, so it's a 30-degree split, which is very good. And the power draw has come up to 11.21 the amps. And it's allowed to draw up to 12, so even in 92 degree conditions, it's still not achieving maximum power consumption. Alright, let's try on the low. So the power momentarily has dropped due to the lower fan motor consumption. However, it's going to go up higher than it was before, because now the head pressure is higher from the lower fan speed, so the compressor's draw is going to go higher. And this is showing why it's important, especially when it's hot out, to always run the units on high fan, because now you can see it's drawing 11.5 as opposed to 11.2. That's because the head pressure is so much higher because of the lower fan speed. It's just not good for the machine. So now on low fan, it's almost up to the maximum allocation. Temperature is going down about 1 degree to 51. Very, very cold. Feels good. And these adjustment louvers actually make a significant difference, both left to right and up and down. Sometimes those louvers just don't do anything, but in this one they're actually designed properly. Well, that's interesting. The power draw has come back down to exactly what it was before. That's weird. I don't know why it leveled out like that. On a lot of units, the fan speed or the power draw can be the same on all three speeds because of the difference in head pressure and fan motor consumption, but I don't know why it was more originally than it went down. That's very odd. Well, sometimes equipment does odd things. Let's go take a look on the outside. Looks like the washer has come forward for some reason on the shaft. It's got very good airflow out the condenser, and it runs pretty cool. It's not hot at all. Let me get the, I'll show it first and I'll get the temperature set up. I really like the looks of these from the outside, because I remember seeing these around quite a bit years ago, like in the 2000s. These were everywhere, and even to this day I can still think of at least 3 houses just in my neighborhood alone that still have some capacity of this. Not necessarily this particular model, but some kind of 90s feathers, and they are still in service. Same amount of dehumidification, high and low. Don't get it. There's another drain hole here. I didn't drill these holes. Vann drilled these holes. He clearly doesn't have the right drill bit. Kevin's got to get him one of those nice drill bits. I can still feel a tremendous amount of air even all the way back here. This is a good 3 feet back from the unit. And there's a strong breeze. The condenser is, looks like it's 3 layers thick. Yep, 3 layer thick condenser. And it's got great airflow. It's a very low number of fins per inch. Well, I think it's a good design. By the time you get to the bottom, it's much cooler than it was on the top. Much cooler. There's really good airflow all the way through. I think these run very cool, which is one of the reasons why they last a while. At the bottom of the condenser, it's oh wow, it's a lot higher than I thought it was going to be. I'd say about 112, about in the middle. Halfway up. And all the way at the top. That's not bad at all, and that's under high heat load. The compressor on the 10K was much louder. Used to fill the whole front yard with that sound. This one's very quiet. I can still feel the airflow. It's got to be at least 10 feet back. Alright, we're back inside. The indoor temperature has stayed at 82. It's going to take a long time to cool the area because all the bedrooms, the hallway, the bathroom, everything, that's all 90 degrees. The living room is like 95 degrees. So it takes some time, but it will do the whole, if I shut the living room door, it will do the whole rest of the house with no problem as long as I put a fan in the hallway. Alright, I'm going to cut it off now. Very nice. Very good machine, very good quality, very powerful, very quiet. What else can you ask for? Now it's off and it's still dripping the same amount. It just never changes. Well, that's it to show in the video. I'm turning the machine back on because it's hot. It's 90 degrees out and now the humidity has gone up to 59. I was hoping maybe it would stay low so we could open the windows, but it's not seeming like that's going to be the case.